everybody, welcome back. This is the Jagged Edge, number 88 for us. This is Ian here along with Chris.
Kitty Mew Mew.
You. So saith Chris after seeing some of the brand new news with Final Fantasy XIV and his beloved Makote race.
Mew Mew.
Mew Mew. Hope everybody's doing good. It's been a busy week. There's a lot of news. We got a lot of stuff from movies and gaming. I mean, we always try to, ideally, of course, but this week was a bit of an exception.
I finally de-thawed.
You did. I mean, you've been
being frozen all week.
Oh, it's been ridiculous. What were you saying? It was negative. What was the lowest you got?
At its peak, I saw something. It was Tuesday night. Although Wednesday overall was the worst. It really got the coldest Tuesday night, and technically Wednesday morning. Negative 57 with wind chills.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't even, man.
So if you're watching my Resident Evil 2 remake playthrough and you hear a space heater in the background, tough shit, because it was freezing. So it was very cold.
I mean, hey, look, those of you in the United States, look, I hope if you've been in these insane temperatures, especially if you're up north, Midwest, places like that you're all right, that you're staying warm. It's killer cold. Literally, it has been a killer cold season out there. I can't remember anything like this for a long arse time.
No.
So
it was bad. Hopefully it's still February. It could drop down again. Probably not that bad, but like literally, I guess some of the polar vortex from the Arctic like broke off and came down here, and that's what happened.
I mean, I think that was the comment I kept hearing. Most of a lot of these temps around were like Antarctic style temperatures, just sitting on us.
They literally were. It broke off and followed down here. So, yeah. But hey, our news heated up though, Ian.
That transition though.
Kitty Mew.
Kitty Mew Mew. Nah, I did. It was on fire. From trailers we got, from stuff with upcoming shows and all of it. Hey, let's waste no time, man. Right at the top of the list, Hobbs and Shaw trailer release for, guess what? It has not stopped. Fast and Furious.
The Fast and Furious spin-off that no one asked for.
Yeah. Nobody did. Nobody
did.
Asked
for it. This thing is nuts. I mean, I peek in on Fast and Furious. I don't follow it, but I peek in on it. It's like, what are you doing? What's going on here? And so this thing looks like some kind of sci-fi movie. You even got the guy, enhanced human and blah, blah, blah. Hobbs and Shaw, I get it. They're kind of going for a buddy flick thing. And it's actually moments here where I'm like, you know what? This could be fun.
Yeah.
This could be fun. And then, they're playing the music in the background. Why can't we be friends?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is kind of got the whole Lethal Weapon vibe to it. It's like, that's because Lethal Weapon used this damn song in their movies.
Yep.
And in their trailers. Like, that's why.
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't just have the feel. They're copying that. Here's the thing. Didn't Shaw kill, like, one of the key members of the Fast and Furious group?
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
how's that forgiven? I don't know.
I don't. This isn't a guy that I just see that you welcome into the family, And I'm actually up on all the Fast and Furious movies. I mean, this guy was blood mortal enemy. I mean, him and especially in the last, him and Vin just go at it. His conflicts with Hobbs and everything else. And if anything, they think this guy's dead. Shaw's, if anything, supposed to be offed, and now look at what we have here. So yeah, man, look, in the same spirit, it's just getting crazier and crazier and more extreme. That whole scene I think we have at the end with the vertical skyscraper walk, just nuts. Just I don't even.
I mean, I guess I get it if you like some mindless garbage fun. I'm going to say it, and you go ahead and put your hate comments below. I'm going to say it. But I have the feeling that the same people who will love this movie loved Venom. I think that's probably bad of me to say, but is that wrong of me to say? I don't think that's wrong of me to say. I don't know. I don't even know if we'll do a review on this. But it's definitely worth looking at the trailer. I'm a big fan of The Rock. I like the stuff that he does. I see a lot of the stuff that he does He's a good actor. He's definitely got a strong charismatic presence on the screen. That would be why I would go see this. Jason Statham was awesome 10 years ago, and was the man for a very long time. I don't know. He seems kind of overdone.
I'm trying to think. What was the first movie?
And it doesn't make any sense to me that these, even though there's like, they're kind of like not working together, but they kind of have to work together and say,
Yeah. What was the first movie you saw Statham in?
Oh God, I don't even remember. It was forever ago.
For me, it goes back. I remember The One with Jet Li.
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of his movies were very similar, and that's because a lot of them were also sequels. With the ones with the car and the driving fast and stuff, they were kind of all the same.
Exactly.
And he had a bunch of like that afterwards. And
exactly. So,
yeah, I know. I don't remember. I do remember The One though. I do remember that. Jet Li was the bad guy, right?
He was, and he was simultaneously the good guy and the bad guy.
Yeah. Didn't they have like a weird twist ending where the bad guy won or something?
The long short of it, he had killed every incarnation of himself except protagonist good Jet Li, and he was basically like a miniaturized Superman at that point. He lost, he was defeated, and they managed to send him, bad Jet Li, into a penal colony, basically full of, like, it was like a galactic prison cell. And we left off with him kicking butt, sending prisoners just flying every which direction. So I'm hoping that gets a sequel someday. I would love to see it.
Isn't that like 20-some years old?
Dude, it was, that movie was early 2000s.
Oh, okay. Well, it's almost 20 years.
Almost. I would love it. Because I enjoyed that film. That's just me. So, oh man.
Yeah, this looks like a bunch of fluff and CGI, and sure, it's a perfect popcorn summer movie. I don't know. The Fast and Furious movies have just never quite done it for me. Again, I check in on them. I've never sat there and been like, I really don't like it, except for the second one. Second one was really off. The second and third one both.
Yeah.
Were really off and weird and different. But for the rest of them, they follow the formula. They've been fun. This seems to kind of follow the formula.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
This isn't 10 years ago where this, just because it was such a CG fest and all that stuff, where that'll bring you in hundreds of millions of dollars. It doesn't do it anymore.
Right. But what I will say, what can be said of this has a dedicated following to it. And I guarantee Fast and Furious fans are still going to go out and see this. To what extent, I wonder, but it's still steaming along, man. It's not in Michael Bay Transformers territory.
No. There was talk. They're up to 9 now, isn't the next one going to be 9?
I believe so.
There's all kinds of talk about how the script's coming along and how that should be out in about a year or so. And sure, I mean, Vin Diesel's got to do something. He's not doing anything else anymore.
Yeah, he's still Riddick in some corner, but.
Yeah, is he though?
Yeah,
that's a franchise I wish I would have gotten some better traction.
Same here. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Yeah,
I enjoyed the first one. That first movie. What was it? What was it called? Something dark. Perfect Dark, wasn't it? No.
That was Nintendo 64.
Yeah, something like that. That was a great movie.
Good stuff. So. All right, rolling right on with shows. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season, if I remember this right, season 6?
Season 6, probably the last season.
Yeah, we got our look at this, and it looks like we're going into Skrull territory here.
Excuse me. Yeah. Coulson apparently dead, and then there's Coulson. So, but he has no idea who he is or what S.H.I.E.L.D. is. Probably a Skrull or something. This comes out after all the Marvel movies this year. It comes out in July, I believe, but it's after all of them. It's definitely after Captain Marvel and Endgame. I can't get you to watch this.
You can't. You cannot, sir. You cannot, sir. You made the pitch. You walked up to the home plate, Babe Ruth style. This one's going out of here. You said, "You, sir, are watching this with me." But hey, look, man, it's not just that I've completely missed the other 5 seasons. You said yourself that you don't need that as the full background. You know what? I accept that because I trust your judgment on that. I just looking at this, so and this is timely with Captain Marvel about to come out. We're about to get a whole movie about Skrulls and past stuff about that. I can't get into this one, and part of it, I will admit, part of this is because I'm a little charred, just a little burned still from maybe this is MCU, maybe here's the link, and then you don't get it, and maybe and then you don't, and then you don't get it. That's a part of it.
Agents of Shield has had direct connection with the MCU. Out of all the shows or everything,
this has been the closest.
Nick Fury's been on there several times. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were on there very quickly. No pun intended. At the end of an episode, there's been direct connections to things that have related and connected, and something that happened on the show helped with. But it's been a long time. They haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity coming after Endgame, and dealing with Skrulls and Captain Marvel and everything, and then Coulson's dead, but now here's Coulson, and there's an opportunity here. But this show has steadily declined in ratings because the connection has been weak.
Yeah,
and I can understand that. I'm a bit burned too. If this was another full season, I probably wouldn't get into this. But this is half a season. It's coming out in summer. It's not, or it would already be out right now with it being winter already. It would have came out in the fall if it was a full season. So half a season. I think it's like 12 episodes, maybe 12, 13 episodes. Probably the last season. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. If you and I were going to review this thing like I had hoped that we'd review each episode weekly, I'd probably stick through it. I will check it out. I will see what's going on. There's some of these characters I've been watching for several years now. But yeah, the steam has definitely, a lot of steam has gone on this stuff, and
yeah.
The current TV iterations of the MCU in large part have come and gone now. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has had some brilliant moments, but then half of the show is just, it's super cheese, it's super sitcom-y stuff.
Right, right.
It was at its best in, I think, season 4 with Ghost Rider. That was pretty cool.
I was about to ask what was happening there, but
that was pretty cool then, and but yeah, who knows what we'll see. If you've been a fan of seeing the Marvel Universe brought into the MCU, a lot of the more obscure stuff, like stuff that I don't even catch,
right, then
it's really cool for you because you get to see these things brought in and stuff. But yeah, it's tough. It can be tough. They really screwed up a couple things. So yeah, check it out. Coulson's dead, but then he's alive. Is he a Skrull, or what's going on?
With all this guy has been through and everything you were telling me about, I'm like, man, dude just can't get a break. Like,
no, he gets, he goes through a lot in the series.
Like, golly.
Yeah.
Oh well. So, Chris, it's a mini season. Tell me how it goes, sir.
I guess. I guess I will
have to. I'm sorry, man. Like I was saying before, look, I hate to be that guy. I want to be a scenario where I can just, yeah, man, let's do it, but not feeling this one. So,
let's see how you feel about this next one.
Well, timing on that though. Let me put it in this light, Chris. At least there was a decision process that had to be made with the last one.
Well, you're talking about this next trailer, right? This teaser?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much of a decision process there was here.
No. No.
At least a good decision process.
We are talking about the Birds of Prey teaser trailer. This is billed.
If you can call it that.
If you can. You got a couple of major names billed here including Ewan McGregor, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Margot Robbie. Of course, this has written all over it, Harlequin.
Yeah, look, okay, this is not a teaser. All right, this is 20 seconds of their wardrobe test, basically.
Yeah.
This is dumb, is what it is. I mean, look, what are you doing? What are you doing, DC? This whole week's theme is: did you learn something or did you not learn anything at all? For them, because this is just dumb.
Look, man. I agree. It's just like there's lessons weren't taken here. I'm not. Look, if
they're rad and they're drinking,
yeah.
and they're bad guys. That's what we do. We're bad guys.
I couldn't help but chuckle at the end of it when it was "See you soon." I was thinking about you, like literally your voice. No, you won't.
Yeah,
no, you won't see me soon.
And we won't, because it's going to be a couple of years.
Yeah, it will.
Actually, no, I think this one comes out next year. But yeah, we'll talk about something related to this later.
Man,
this is dumb. This is where it's like, look, I get it. There's the theory. There's no such thing as bad press. No, that's not true. There is, and this is you don't know, because everyone's watching DC, and you did really good with Aquaman. Something to be said for the lineup that came out during that time too. But Aquaman has broken records for you.
Yep.
And hey, this is fun, and this and that, and then it's Birds of Prey teaser. You're like, oh my god.
Just what did they say in what was that movie? It was I think Will Smith in Bad Boys. Did you see both those? Yeah. And there was that they had that. There's this Russian overlord in the start of it. Some guy OD'd in his club and like died on a table, and he had his bouncer get him out. I don't know if you remember that scene, but it always sticks with me the way he said it. Get him out of here, Joseph. That's how I feel about this. So,
well, it's funny you bring that up, because I didn't put this in the notes, but there was a picture that came out for those guys for Bad Boys 3.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
Look, I don't usually say stuff like this, and I'm not a spring chicken myself, but what's Martin Lawrence? That's his name, right?
Yep, Martin Lawrence.
He looks way too old to be doing an action flick. Period. And Will Smith wasn't looking great either.
Oh man,
which is crazy. The last time I saw Will Smith, he was looking buff, and like
he was buff, dude. What was it? What was that film he was in? He was Ali.
Well, there was Ali, and he's been he seems to be able to drastically change his body. He was pretty big in Hancock.
Yeah, he can.
He wasn't small in Suicide Squad.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to be like that, but really, there's a reason why that wasn't in the notes. But since it came up, I was like, well, all right, let's talk about Bad Boys.
Right. I'm with you. I didn't even know it was a thing though, man. So.
Yeah, they've been trying to get that going on forever.
Okay. Oh man. Well, we're gonna keep heading down the slope. Star Trek. This is something we've been following, as you know, with the upcoming, of course, the Captain Picard series, whatever this is fully going to be. But what we
it's not Captain Picard.
No, it's not. It's not. We got some new details for the new upcoming Star Trek show. This was from an interview with Deadline. This was Jonathan Frakes, a.k.a. William Riker. He spoke a little bit.
A.k.a. number one.
Number one! You have the bridge. He spoke a little bit about Star Trek, just what's happening with it and everything else with Patrick Stewart. So he says, check it out. Jean-Luc Picard is no longer a captain. Here is the quote from him. He said, the feeling is, that is the Next Generation cast, that they love to be a part of it. But the feeling is also that it's Patrick Stewart's show. So having said that, I can't imagine a world where there's no reference to what happened to the rest of the Next Generation cast. Patrick isn't playing Captain Jean-Luc Picard this time. He's done with that phase of his career, at least in Starfleet in this show. That's about the only thing I do know about the show. Patrick and I had a steak dinner a couple of weeks ago, and this man, who I've known for 31 years now, is so excited about this show. He's like a little kid. It's fabulous. He's thrilled and excited to be invited into the writer's room, and he's a producer on the show, that he's part of the development of the story arc. It's terrific. I mean, he is a guy who is fully engaged.
I have a lot of things to say from this. Okay, so first let me start with this, that it's adorable that he says that they had a steak dinner.
It is.
He says that anymore. We had a steak dinner.
Steak dinner.
But no, besides that, The whole comment about it, it's Patrick's show, and in the quotes there it says that he laughs. Next Generation was Patrick Stewart's show too, but this is more dedicated, obviously.
Right.
Not that Generation wasn't really, but maybe it was. So I think the thing to say here is that, okay, so he's not a captain, maybe not yet.
Right.
Maybe he's he says that part of his career in Starfleet is over. That doesn't mean that he's not still part of Starfleet.
That's important to hone in on.
Yeah, so there's nothing saying that there's some incident that happens and he becomes a captain, or he's at least like an interim captain for a
Sure.
ship. Or we're a little bit worrisome though that he's like, oh yeah, we'd like to be a part of it. How is that not planned yet to cover some of the other cast members' stuff? I mean, that's a little concerning. But overall, but confirmed that he's. Which was kind of obvious. I mean, really, if we're 20 years after we last saw him somewhere about that. Well, yeah, about that. Between 15 and 20 years since we last saw Picard. He's not going to be captain anymore.
No.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of questions, raised in that as far as his current status and where all of it sits. Look. At this point, I still have some optimism, some cautious optimism about him. Happy that Picard's around, period, whatever form that does take. But he's what I'm more curious what state of mind he's in after these things. You take the movies, you take this statement, put those together, in what type of Picard are we going to see?
Right. Let's go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just get the feeling Q would love to come poke at him right now. I don't know.
Well, he's lived 2 lifetimes now, his own life, and then there was that one episode where he lived an entire person's lifetime in like that alien thing. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah. Plus, he was part of the Borg, so he's got there's all kinds of things that make him a very unique individual. Yeah, I just do it justice, folks. I understand that you've got one hand tied behind your back because you're not supposed to talk about the movies, and obviously, after the show, there was 4 of them that continued on with everything. I just do it justice, do it right.
Yeah,
do it right.
Yeah.
If you do it right, I'll get all access. If you do it wrong, I'm going to be stealing every episode.
You will pay for it.
No, I won't pay for it. They'll pay. Somebody else will pay for it.
That's what I mean. Like you
and
pay
I'll
as
stream it.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. All right, back in the mixer. Now, here's a little piece of news that this just put an ear-to-ear smile on my face. Look, I am not a survival horror nut, or more importantly, I'm not a zombie nut. But, dude, freaking Zombieland. It's like, how could you not like that movie? That was fantastic. And here we have it. Zombieland takes the 10-year challenge in a really funny way, mind you, on the Twitter. They're just like, 10-year challenge accepted. We got the announcement of the Zombieland sequel, Double Tap.
Boom. So good.
That is awesome. So, here it is. It's the official announcement. We're looking forward to more being put up about this, but just
comes out in October.
Perfect timing. It
really was.
I will. I know we're still working on our slate for a lot of stuff that's coming out this year, but this skyrocketed to my must list.
Really?
Yes. I love Zombieland. It was hilarious.
No, it's a damn good movie.
Yeah.
Looking at these two, obviously the most drastic change is I forget her name, but the one at the end there.
Right.
She was like 12, and she's in her 20s at this point. It's looking forward to this too. You from a zombie perspective now, you say you're not a zombie person. I obviously am.
Right.
I'm very much a zombie person. You do not get a lot of movies or post-zombie apocalyptic stuff happening so far into an apocalypse. So it'll be really interesting to see where the world is at that point, because they don't. It's a comedy. Not saying that it's not. It's also a zombie movie though, and they did a really good job of walking that line of being both.
For sure.
Putting enough emphasis on both aspects of that in the first one. So I'm assuming they're at least going to attempt to do the same again. So it'll be interesting to see where this world is at that point. These obviously all four main casts are still alive, at least at the beginning. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm sure they won't kill him, but looking forward to it. I hope it's as good. Zombieland landed before Walking Dead by about a year or so. So it'll be interesting for it to revisit now that the whole zombie genre, at least as far as
for sure,
visual media, with the exception of games. The games are still going really strong. Games are going stronger than ever for zombies. But TV, movies, we've kind of gone past the hump here as far as zombie popularity. So it'll be interesting to see how they tackle everything that's been put into the genre since the first movie, and see if they add anything. I mean, as far as was there anything landmark that happened with this movie, that added on to the genre? Not so much, although it definitely helped to bring popularity back to zombies. So yeah, it's always interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they do this. Really looking forward to it.
Good stuff.
I know I sound super excited, but I really am.
No, dude. I figured you'd be. I also one thing I do want to know about this movie is how well the Twinkie supply held out.
Oh, it didn't.
Yeah, I know.
It took him forever just to find the couple that he did.
It did.
Yeah, no, they're gone. Either that or he's making his own now.
Yeah.
I would bet more on that. Him or somebody related to him are making him Twinkies.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. So, and man, hey, in the spirit of survival horror, though, along the lines of that, and this is just so freaking timely with what I just said, with what you're playing right now. Resident Evil is getting a show, and it's coming to Netflix. Another report from Deadline. Chris here isn't sounding too buzzed.
No, the devil's in the details on this one. I was excited about this, and then I started researching it, and now I'm like,
all right, well, here we go. Well, let me dig into it a bit too. So this is from a report, of course, from Deadline. Aren't too many details, but it's reported that Constantine, 10, thank you, Constantine,
German company.
Constantine Film was behind about six other live action adaptations.
These 6 live action adaptations.
These are supposed to expand the world. Here you go. Expand the world the original films took place in particular, the Umbrella Corporation and the New World Order created from the outbreak. So this is basically footsteps of Milla Jo, correct?
This is... I see a chance to cash in. Ching, ching. That's what this is. At least so far, that's what it sounds like. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, Netflix is going to be getting a Resident Evil show. Is it going to be in animation? Is it going to be live action? What's it going to be? And there's not a lot out there, but what little is out there says the guys that were behind live action movies, which are almost universally panned as garbage because they are so, except for the third one. The third one, taken as a standalone zombie movie, is actually really interesting. The rest of them are shit. Hey, let's expand on this world. Resident Evil's hot again. So, if I was Netflix, if this is true, I would detach myself from this. Dead serious, because these movies by the fans are not liked.
No.
And even by casual fans, they're just like, no, not really. And as zombie fans and as horror fans, there are moments, but generally these movies are shit. And the first couple really have not aged well. There's something quaint about the first one.
Sure.
The second one is it's so bad. And the ones after, I haven't even seen 6 yet. So I guess because, but from what I read, it's supposed to be as bad as the other ones. Like I said, three something to be said for the third one, not as a part of a trilogy or anything, but as a standalone. If you take it as a standalone movie, there's some interesting things there.
There you have it.
I'm not interested in seeing the expansion of this world.
Yeah. It felt, from the little I saw, and look, I haven't sat down and watched every one of the original RE movies, but from what I've seen, it looks like that they've strained this one dry, man.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't understand why anybody thinks there's like a drop left in that bucket.
Right.
Because they did drain it. They really did. The only thing that's going to come of this is Netflix buying into this, thinking that there's money here without properly researching this project.
Right.
And maybe down the road, some DVD sales, some interest. But all this is really going to do is piss people off. Yes, there's a hope, there's an opportunity here with the right creative people to take this thing in its own direction.
Right.
And really just, it's Resident Evil in name only. It's Umbrella in name only. If they don't bring something really good with that, it's going to sink. And this is going to barely be a footnote. You've got the movie franchise being rebooted. So, and that's supposed to be like well connected to the games. So we'll see. This could end up looking really bad.
Oh yeah. That's unfortunate, man. I had my fingers crossed for a second because I'm in this heavy RE2 mode right now. I'm like, if we go along those veins, this could be a winner. But oh well.
No, this is a cash in, I think.
Okay.
We'll see. There's not a lot known, but right now it's looking like a cash in.
Fair enough. Oh well, or not fair enough. Oh well. It's just we'll see.
No. As Resident Evil fans, we're used to this shit at this point. We've been doing these movies since 2002.
You guys are seasoned.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, this is that scar has calloused.
Okay. No, well put. On the next front, panning back a little bit to DC here, we got a ton of Batman movie news. Of all things, this was an announcement from Warner Brothers that we do have a release date. The next Batman film is going to be out June 25th, 2021. So kicking the can down the lane a bit now. Just
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Just like some of the previous looks we've had at this stuff. Now Matt Reeves is going to be writing and directing the film. Affleck is out. He is not reprising his role for this, and also. Another thing that was mentioned in the past about this, they're proposed to follow in a trilogy, which would be based on a younger Batman, and then, from the once we meet him in DCU. Look, whether or not this movie is even attached to anything DCU, look, we have no idea what's happening with that, so don't hang your hat in anything like that. Anyway, after the release date got confirmed and set up for this, Ben Affleck made a post on Twitter. He was saying he was excited about the Matt Reeves vision for the movie, which, of course, fired up another discussion again about Affleck not reprising his role as Bats. So
yeah. It appears that generally speaking, people either liked or loved Ben Affleck's role as Bruce Wayne / Batman.
Yeah,
I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a really good job. I was really upset about it when rumors were first coming up that he wasn't going to be doing it anymore. It's been a couple years now.
Right.
I'm over it.
Right.
This is still a mistake.
Yeah.
With no emotion attached to it, this is still a bad idea. This once again is Warner Brothers showing, well, hey, we have a fairly big name director who wants to come in and do some stuff in DC, so we're just going to let him do what he wants. Yeah, but aren't you establishing that whole huge franchise and connected world and So, right. So they want to do a prequel trilogy. Well, let me rephrase. This is either a prequel trilogy or it's a standalone, which people really don't want. No. I think they really want Batman to be connected to this larger world now. But This is either way. These next 3 Batman movies, no, they won't be. Even if it is in the same world, it's before everything else that you've seen. Now, there's an opportunity here to really flesh out this world that we saw, because some of the more interesting things that we saw from Batman v Superman was, okay, so we have a veteran Batman. He's been around for a long time. He's been kicking a lot of ass.
Yeah.
He's got a whole rogues gallery. We're not building. This is one of the things I remember when we talked about this. This is one of the more interesting things about the DCEU was that, Marvel is starting us at the beginning of this world. DC is throwing us in the middle of it. And I thought that was really interesting and gave them a lot to draw off of. So if this is going to be a prequel movie or even trilogy showing us a whole lot of what happened, including what happened to Robin at some point, and this is connected to the greater DCEU, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine. And then by the time that trilogy is over, the guy who's playing Batman will now jump in with the rest of it and, maybe give him a few gray hairs or something. a little bit older. But this is supposed to be a very young Batman. I think I forgot to put it in the notes that this is also supposed to be the most, and I really like this. This is supposed to be the most greatest detective type movie that we've had ever for Batman. So I do like that. Very noir.
Yeah.
In feel, which we've been hearing about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, like you said, in feel, that's a great angle to work with Batman. You don't always get that, but look at the heart of it. This guy is, look, he's sharp on his stuff. It's the core of how he's been able to track criminals over the years, do what he does. It's the bats behind the scenes that really amounts to the whole case. Wrapping up before he can get to any of the butt kicking or anything else. So, yeah.
I would say the advantage of doing this, if it does become a whole trilogy, I would say the advantage to keeping Batman separated from, for the next, realistically, at least 6 years, unless they really crank these things out. It's going to be at least 6 years or so, and keeping him disconnected from the rest of the DCEU, if that's even still a thing, which at least at the moment it is. And then reintroducing him gives you definitely long enough separation to where you can obviously recast Ben Affleck at that point with whoever this new guy is and bringing him up to date with the rest of the world. Geez, do this right. Do this right, because if you do this wrong,
dump.
Yeah, if you don't say you can't screw this up. Why don't you go talk to Lucasfilm right now and ask them how they feel about what happens when you do stuff wrong.
Too big to fail. Too can't happen, man. It's too.
No, well, and it's almost like they want to test it. It's like, okay, they can tank Star Wars, but that's always been a movie franchise. Can we tank Batman?
Therein lies the true test.
It's almost like they're trying.
It's like, let's push that envelope.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Can we tank a multimedia phenomenon that's been around for several decades, that has been loved across the world? I mean, Star Wars has been pretty much movies, only been around for 40 years. Batman's been around for about 70 plus years now.
Yeah.
He's been in TV, he's been in movies, he's been in and Star Wars had all that stuff too. But this is Batman. Batman. By the way, would you ever see that fan-made video of Batman versus Darth Vader?
Batman versus Darth? No.
See that? I'll show it to you after the show.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah, just please do it right. Do it right. Yeah, I can see your path here, but if your path is to make another unattached trilogy, nobody wants that.
No, I'm with you.
If you're not catching on, Aquaman just made you more money than anything else that you've currently done, like ever. People want this to work. Don't give them a reason not to spend money, because that was Justice League. I mean, that was Justice League, man.
Yeah,
you failed.
The enormity of that you can't stress that enough, and how that sinks in. I mean, dude, the JLA we're talking about the cornerstone pillars of DC. I mean, look, this wasn't a one-time organization or an off chance meeting, I mean, of heroes, they've been at the center of just about anything major you can think of, from Infinite Crisis, Superman versus Doomsday. You just go back through the years, you name a crazy event, JLA was there. And to have a movie like that bomb, it's a big deal.
Right. I mean, I guess what worries me is that what we've definitely seen from Warner Brothers and DC so far is that they don't know how to play long ball.
No.
And that's what this is, if they're going to connect all this stuff right. This is, I mean, if they end up doing a trilogy off of this and then want to connect it to the rest of the DCEU, you're looking at least 6 years.
Yeah.
And I hope so. I really do. Because if they can actually prove that they can do that and take a big name like Batman and play that card with him and have him come out the other side, I mean, your success will be phenomenal. You'll have a lot that you can
definitely
write off of with that. But if you screw it up, oh boy,
hell to pay.
Yeah, and it's news like the next one.
I was about to say, you're on it, man. You are on it with your transitions here, news wise. If it's anything. If it's anything like that, look, besides Batman, we got 2 more movies coming up for 2021. You got Suicide Squad, aka Suicide Squad 2, that's scheduled August 6th of 2021, written by James Gunn, by the way, and also for May 21st of 2021. I have a hard time saying this, Chris. a new DC film called
Kitty Mew Mew.
Kitty Mew Mew. That should be renamed to DC Super Pets.
Oh, yep.
Why?
Look,
why?
And they need to put out a trailer or something for this real quick,
yeah.
Because they need to announce. This needs to be announced. This has nothing to do with the whole rest of the DCEU or the worlds of DC. This is going to be a fun animation for kids. Okay, all right. I'm good with that. Good with that. Whatever. Wonder Dog and whatever their names are, and whatever, they're gonna have an adventure, and okay. But right now, this is just, I mean, this is sitting up there with Batman and the Joker and Aquaman, and it's just sitting there. It's look what we're doing.
You mentioned something important with animations here. I want to zoom in on this a minute. Look, for as much guff as we give DC, and I think rightfully so, for a lot of live actions, things like that, and some of the adaptations and stuff, for all the flack, their animation department is batting pretty good right now.
Oh yeah, no, it's been great,
dude. The DC animations are awesome. In fact, not just the past stuff like Flashpoint and everything. Did you see? I think the most recent thing they had was another re-rendition of Superman Doomsday.
I've seen some trailers and stuff for it, and I have not watched.
That was their latest. I saw it was solid, man. It was solid, and you would think.
I think they're coming out with a sequel to that actually has to do with all the different Supermen that pop up after that.
They are. You're right. That's going to be the follow-up to it. And you would think, I mean, that of course, that storyline was huge in the 90s. I remember making it on Jay Leno. It was such a big deal. And you would think, that's something that would run out of steam. There's no other way they could do it. And here comes DC Animation, man. Hey, hats off to you guys. Look, if something like Super Pets gets handed to that department and it's separate look, dude, they can do it. I got no doubt. But again, that's a huge what if situation. But I just wanted to comment on that. I love the DC Animation stuff. They rock.
I think it's amazing though overall how Warner Brothers starts getting some cred back for DC, and then damn, it's like they're at the casino. They can't hold on to it. They just got to spend it all over again. All right, we got a couple coins in our pocket.
Let's go.
Right. Jeez. DC Super Pets coming to you in May 2021.
Just no. The last time I saw a super pet was in Infinite Crisis, and I was okay with it staying there for like one page. Done. Whatever.
Yeah, they need to do a presser that just says that this is going to be completely separate. It's like a kids movie.
Man. So.
That needs to come out yesterday.
Yeah, it does. Yesterday. Yeah. Post haste. Something that's not kid friendly though. The Shining sequel, Doctor Sleep. This got bumped up to release this year. This is supposed to be a little bit later, but hey, Warner Brothers just dropped the release dates everywhere for this stuff this week, and with them was a change to the release date of the Stephen King adaptation, Doctor Sleep, aka the sequel to Shining. This is now coming out November 8th this year. Ewan McGregor, he's going to be playing Danny Torrance, who's now an alcoholic dealing with psychic powers.
Yeah, so how much do you know about Shining? That movie's even like a little bit too early for me.
Yeah, just Shining was, that's a movie I stayed away from for a while because all like the freaky stuff I heard, but I've seen it.
It's so good.
I've seen it. It is a classic. It is an absolute classic.
Favorites. I did not even know Doctor Sleep was a thing. I guess the book came out several years ago.
I've never read anything.
I'm excited for this though. Ewan McGregor as Danny though.
Right.
And just seeing what happened from all that. I'm excited for it. It's going to come out around my birthday. I'm going to see it.
What a happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday. No, everyone's going to die.
Well, I hope it compels you.
Is Danny Torrance Dr. Sleep? I'm going to have to read up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It has been forever since I looked at anything Shining related. I mean, Shining was, if I remember right, early 80s, right?
No, 70s.
70s?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's mid 70s, I believe. Now I'm going to have to look it up. Come here, Google. I got you a question.
I was about to say, well, check it real quick, because I could have sworn, like 81.
Oh, my bad. May 23rd, 1980.
There it is.
So still 70s.
Yeah, still 70s. You're just coming out of the 70s.
Trust me. If you were around at that time, and I don't remember much because I was very little. The 70s kind of snuck into the early 80s there for a little while. You can definitely,
I can get that just how the 80s snuck into the 90s.
Yeah,
a little bit. I feel you.
But I love this movie.
Cool.
Good stuff. I mean, I would say that in large part, Stephen King owes a lot of his reputation to this movie.
Oh, for sure.
I believe it was his first adaptation. Yeah, I can't. Are you excited? I mean, I didn't even know there was a Doctor Sleep. I didn't even.
No, I didn't know it was a thing. That is really exciting. I mean, anytime you see something related to an absolute cult classic, movie like that, that's just a wow moment. To me, I'm just like, whoa, like where'd that come from? Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, we've long established that I don't read, so I have to wait for Stephen King stuff to come out in other media.
Then you'll catch it.
Yeah,
you'll catch it. Love it. Other than that, on the upswing as well, Marvel-wise, hey, interesting little piece of news here. Killmonger, just maybe, to return in Black Panther 2. A recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, Angela Bassett let a little slip that the entire cast, I repeat, the entire cast will be returning for the sequel, including Michael B.
Including Michael B in quotes.
Yeah. Oops. You know what? The reason I'm not going to bandwagon that immediately is, look, that could mean a lot of things. Firstly, the thing I want to hone in on is the fact that, no matter what you thought of the guy, no matter, how anti-kingdom his actions were, he was a king, regardless of how short that was. And I think that would entitle him to be part of the what would you call that realm, where King T'Challa's father rested, and the rest of the past kings.
Oh, sure, yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
You know where I'm going. That's where I think we're going with that.
It could, yeah, that could be the case. I hope they don't bring him back. His arc was perfect.
No, it was.
It needs to be ended where it is.
I agree. If
something like that, I think would be fine.
I agree. You shouldn't see him literally physically pop up. That would be kind of selling him out a bit. But having it like that would be perfect. Actually, it's funny I say that. Yet back in the comics, Marvel had no qualms with doing that.
Well, no, yeah, that's different though. The Black Panther in the MCU is really taking on a life beyond beyond the popularity of the Marvel version. It's winning big awards now, and I don't think that it should think that it's bigger than its comic roots, and MCU is pretty good about that. But I mean, they told an important story there, both in the character and the arc that he had, but also it was a lot of criticism about MCU villains,
right?
In the depth and how good they could be, and they had a damn good one there. And
Yeah,
to bring
they
it
did.
back would cheapen them.
I agree. No, I agree wholeheartedly. So please don't pull what happened in the old comics. Leave things as are. It'll be awesome. So, speaking of awesome, Zoinks. Something
Zoinks!
out of nowhere. You did that so good. Out of nowhere, this is something Scooby-Doo related that in a game I'd never expect. Pan over to gaming a little bit here. There is a Shaggy petition to have him to be included as DLC in Mortal Kombat 11. This was a petition started from a fan at change.org recently to get Shaggy put in as a guest DLC character for MK11. And the funny thing, this got a lot of steam. I'm talking 200,000 signatures worth of steam in just days. MK11's director and franchise co-creator, this Ed Boon, he actually made a reply on his Twitter a couple times about it. He mocked it a bit for saying, look, he said, let me know how that works out for you, to a tweet demanding the character comes as DLC. But then he actually posted a tweet, entertaining, kind of playing along a bit with the idea. And look, this was hilarious. You had this Shaggy, it's called Evil Shaggy with his sidekick, Cujo. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. And you have, here it is, the NetherRealm version of Shaggy. Look, this is why it's an exciting time to be alive. And, I get to see this in 2019, a ridiculous rendering of Shaggy and Scooby Mortal Kombat style. Look, if this doesn't go anywhere further, I'm happy with this, man. This is hilarious.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't, because we only get so many DLC spots.
Yeah,
this isn't like Namco Bandai, which throws out 7 each season, and with 5 seasons playing. We only get so many, and there's a lot of Mortal Kombat here. This is fun, sure. Somebody created something funny and it took off. Good on them. Maybe put a picture of him somewhere in the game or something. Give it a nod, but don't go anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't need this as a character.
There's a lot more important things happening in MK and a lot more interesting characters I think you could afford to include. So, no, freaking hilarious. Have it stay here in meme form and leave it at that, Jim.
That's fun though. That so many people signed on to. They're having some fun with it. Everyone's excited. They just announced Kano this last week at the Brazil reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Okay. See you later, Shaggy.
So you get out of here.
You were fun. Okay. Go on.
Next thing you know, we'll hear a Jinkies and they'll be talking about Thelma assist or something.
Oh,
I don't know. Leave it at that. I couldn't help it. On Nintendo's end, though. So, look, this isn't necessarily news in other places because these stores exist. But look, this is news in Japan because they actually don't have one there, believe it or not. There's the first official Nintendo retail store is actually opening in Japan, right in Tokyo. And this is the store that actually, aptly named, is going to be called Nintendo Tokyo. This is a quote from Nintendo Japan. We're hoping it's going to be a new point of contact between consumers and Nintendo that a wide range of people, regardless of age, gender, and experience with games, can enjoy. So this is going to be located in the Shibuya district. Is scheduled to open up fall 2019. The first retail store Nintendo had was actually in right here in New York City, over at the Rockefeller Center.
But when I was looking at this, I was like, I could have sworn I'd heard Nintendo stores before, and then I actually read on and say, the first one ever in Japan. That's just weird.
It's the reason I thought this was newsworthy. It just struck me as just crazy odd. I mean, anything, most of these larger Japanese companies related, down to Capcom and everybody else, they've got something. They've got some kind of physical structure already set up, and where this stuff comes from, but. Nintendo of all things, it's like, come on, guys! I would think you had your own store, and they don't. But look, this is a really good time for it. The Switch is doing really well. I expect Smash Brothers to just continue to escalate. In fact, there's going to be, I think the latest event, there's going to be a big open invitational tournament for it at PAX East in a few months here. And of course, we're going to see it at EVO. Finally, I love poking at this. Yes, all the Smash players can get off their CRTVs and put on some actual HD TVs and HDMI cables. So
there you go.
Won't have to worry about doing what we used to do for Armored Core and hauling giant TVs to events. Leaving it at that.
Those days are over.
Now they're done. Yeah, it's done, man. Get yourself that nice flat screen or that good refresh monitor. So. But this is cool. Hey, good on them. It sounds like something that they've needed for a long time. And
40 years now.
Yeah, 40 years. I'm sure it's going to help boost up everything they got going. So, all right.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Have you been to a Nintendo store?
I haven't. I've been.
I have not either.
Let's see. Now I visited.
You're going to Chicago soon, though, aren't you?
Boston.
Okay. Boston.
Yeah, Boston. You chat ahead.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be heading there for PAX East.
I bet you there's going to be one in Boston.
You know, I really haven't looked at other gaming stuff like, in Boston. I mean, look, Boston's a real historic town anyway. I mean, there's, Alamo. Right. You could go on and on and on. But yeah, besides PAX in like Anime Boston and stuff like that, I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. I'll say.
I'm going to find out right now.
Here he goes.
Why don't you go ahead to the next part and I'll find out.
All right. This next part comes from none other than Square Enix. We just had, literally, this morning, our time. Let's see, I think this started about 5 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, Paris is about 6 hours ahead, so we're already way later into the morning there. That is the second fan fest for FF14. It's still going on now, actually live in France. It should end tomorrow, but there were a ton of reveals in the keynote alone. A lot of big news coming for FF14. As we've already said here previously on our show, and as a lot of people know, if you played especially, look, there's a new expansion coming out. It's going to happen this year. We got a whole bunch of details for those. So, before I go too far into it, did you find that thing, Chris?
No, I'm still looking.
Dang it. Okay. Well, I was hoping to get that at the start, but I guess not. Look,
no, just keep going. I'll just interrupt.
This guy. First thing, at the top of the list was Kitty Mew Mew. I will get to Kitty Mew Mew and why we've been saying Kitty Mew Mew. So, the initial trailer that we had got extended. We had our first look at this at the end of last year, looking at the opening intro trailer. Got a lot more on that. Actually, a lot more questions and answers if you follow lore, but most importantly, a look at one of the brand new classes that's going to be coming out. And yes, I'm overjoyed. It is a tank, as a lot of people talk. That is going to be the Gunbreaker. If you're familiar with Gunblades, you played FF8, well, look, this might just be your thing, but Chris and I couldn't help but chuckle a bit on the debut for it, because it was Makote. I think they were Makote Mao they were just playing on, and the cat ears just killed it for Chris. I think.
That was horrible.
They did.
That was horrible. I mean, just everything Japanime, and then but it's looking decent.
Yeah.
And then are those cat ears?
Yeah. As Chris says, he's like, "Hey, different world, man." He's like, not my wheelhouse. But looking at why this is a big deal for 14. The last tank we got was back in Heavensward, the 3.0 expansion. We didn't get one for the current expansion in Stormblood, and it's something people have expected a long time, and also another healer too. So having that confirmed, having it on the books, it's going to join Paladin, Warrior, and Dark Knight. Finally taking tanks beyond Trinity. That is awesome. I'm definitely going to give this class a shot myself. Looks nice and flashy. Of course, I definitely want to see what they bring to the table. It's already some of the details that they were talking about them is they use slashing damage. So those of you who play Warriors and you're already using your Storm's Path and all that good stuff, hey, looks like they're going to fit right in with that. And I'm definitely going to try it out too. Maybe after I level my Dark Knight. I don't know. But that was a hype moment. All the new stuff we got from the trailer was great. There were a lot of scenes that were expanded. So that is not the end of that. And I expect we're going to get a third part to that trailer come FanFest Japan this year too. There's a ton of new stuff on the battle system being revamped, but most importantly, that we got the release dates posted. So check it out. Shadowbringers, aka 5.0, comes out officially July 2nd this year. Early access is going to start on June 28th, and you can pre-order this thing like literally. Let me look at my calendar. In a few days. Literally in a few days. February 6th, pre-order starts for this. Of course, I'm going to do that. somehow, I'm still going to play this and be playing Anthem. So somehow. I don't know, but
cloning will be involved.
Likely, very likely. We've got all our dates on the table for that. That was a great thing to have. Also, if you pre-order, there's a couple little bonuses, and especially if you're working on leveling classes right now, you get just for doing the pre-order, you get a minion, and there's also an accessory you can equip to the ear slot. It gives a plus 30% XP bonus all the way up until level 70, and the stats on that accessory actually scale as you level. The problem with a lot of the XP accessories that we've gotten in the past is that the stats stay stuck. So if it's like a level 40 or 50 item, it doesn't scale with you, and you want to keep getting that XP, but then that accessory really sucks, and you're like, I want to wear something my level. Well, it looks like they finally answered that. It's pretty sweet, especially if you're trying to get a bunch of classes leveled leading up to this, and this was a cool move. Also, another cool PR move they made was anybody who was watching and stream, Twitch Prime, they pitched an offer specifically to them for a massive discount for FF14, both picking up the game and a cut off their subscription. Starting off, really cool to try to pull people into the game. So
yeah, no, that is cool.
Yeah, smart move. I thought it was a smart move in their part, just for people tuning into the stream. Other than that, though, some of the content, we got a surprising amount of stuff looked at here. Usually I don't expect this much to get revealed, especially just into the second Fan Fest, but the new 24-man Alliance raid got announced. It's going to be called Yorha Dark Apocalypse. If you played Nier Automata, that's going to ring a bell to you. This threw me off a lot, and I have no idea how this is going to fit into FF14's universe. So let me break this down a bit. Nier Automata, aka 2B. Remember we were talking about that DLC for Soul Calibur, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
What she's from? Yeah, it's that game. I don't know how on earth that's going to fit or how that even makes its way here. Don't ask me, but they've brought in actually two of the people who worked on Nier, the battle systems for that, who are going to be doing a lot of the mechanics for the new raid. One is Yosuke Saito. He produced Dragon Quest 10 and 11, and of course worked on Nier Automata. And also with Yoko Taro, he's the designer for Drakengard and Nier. So that's anybody's guess. I got nothing on that. I'm just sort of like, wow, okay. I guess show me more. For if you're a crafter, which I am, or if you're a gatherer, there's going to be a ton of content, new in-game stuff. Ishgard, we've been rebuilding the city that was practically burned to the ground by dragons back in 3.0. I take it there's going to be a housing district available there at some point, but we've never had true in-game content for crafters. Us crafters and gatherers, we've really put a lot into help providing the raid community with stuff, but we've never had something that really appealed directly to playing in that bin. So if you're a market hawk, if you're crazy about crafting and gathering and all that, there's going to be some really challenging stuff coming up. I love that. The crafting system was part of the reason I started playing FF14. The ability to be like an armor and blacksmith along with, being a tank. I love that idea. So I can't wait. I've never bothered getting my own house or housing or apartments, whatever in 14, but if something happens in Ishgard after we rebuild it, yeah, you bet I'm going to be there. So, other than that, some details got shown about the Collector's Edition box set. What's going to be included in that? There's a big old statue, as you can come to expect with this stuff by now, statue of the Dark Knight, aka the poster boy class for this expansion.
Kitty ears?
Yeah, no kitty ears. None.
No? Okay.
No ears in that one. I'll have to show you a picture of it. There's a lower art book. There's a set of cards. There's a vinyl poster. You get some in-game bonuses, a couple minions, a pretty cool looking mount. Also, FF8 heads are probably going to go nuts. Squall's Gunblade has a glamour, of course. And the collector's box itself is sort of like a fold-out, a large-scale piece of an official art that Yoshitaka Amano did for this expansion specifically of a Dark Knight on a mount. Anybody familiar with Amano? Look, this guy has been with FF forever. Anytime you've seen the very feudal, wispy looking style for the covers of FF games, and hey, look, this is the guy who does the calligraphy, the huge art behind the Final Fantasy letters all the time. He's been doing the series forever. He also worked on Vampire Hunter D. I hope some people out there have seen that.
I've seen that.
There you go. There you go. But there's a huge piece of art.
That movie's older than you.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost older than me.
Yeah, it is. So his art's always been awesome. It's cool to have a huge piece of that. So don't know how much it's going to be yet. Price is still yet to be revealed, but it was good to see everything that's going to be in it. Look, there's all this good news, but any potential fan worries? Look, people have been clamoring for an even higher eared race forever, from FF12 to Vieira, and we're not kidding Mew Mew. This is Bunny Mew Mew.
I remember the bunnies.
Yeah. So, look, it's been known there's going to be a new race playable. That's the Vieira. We got to actually see some in-game footage of them, how the character models play out, how those look, what some of the animations look like, all that good stuff. But one thing
you were wise to hide that from me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hid that. One thing I know the stream went crazy about asking was where's my male bunny boy? Where's my male bunny? I'm not too sure what the reaction right now is going to be if we do not get the ability to do a male and female version like we can with every version of a race. Look, frankly, I'm like, whatever. I've only ever seen a female Vieira, and that's from Final Fantasy XII, aka Fran, so I'm just kind of shrugging my shoulders like, cool. I'm still going to be me, and yeah, not changing. But
furries can go play in the other room.
It's like, whatevs. But this was a real surprise. We might have even some further news, some more granular details about the battle system tomorrow. There's a live letter that's going to be addressing like more of the technical stuff and the server stuff and everything. So a killer keynote, tons of news, way more than I even expected. There's still going to be more coming out of this weekend. This is shaping up to be an absolutely amazing expansion. I can't wait to play it. I just need time. I just need lots of time now. So, well.
Well, you have half a year.
Yeah, I do. I do. So hopefully I can get the rest of my ducks in a row. But all right, dude. I poured through an FF14 spiel. Have you found that?
There was nothing to find, sir. Really, the only thing that still exists is just the Nintendo Store in New York, which was called Nintendo World, but is now called Nintendo New York.
All right.
There's some other ones around the world, but I guess I figured there would be one in like Boston and Philly, or maybe a couple over on the West Coast, but no.
No dice, huh?
No, there's like I saw something about some kiosks and stuff, so but no,
Okay.
Nothing like that.
Okay. So, fair enough. Other than that, at some point, yeah, if there's other news in 14, I'll be following this real close. I think the last thing I'd have to say about this overall is, if you're in a New Game Plus, those of you who play Chrono Trigger, you're going to have the ability to do that, which surprised me. Usually MMOs don't go to these grounds, but this expansion is going to open up a New Game Plus mode if you want to actually play back through with your current stats, with your current character, that will have no impact on where you are in the actual main story. You're going to have the chance to do that. So going back through the 50 content, the stuff from 2.0 all the way up to 5.0, you can actually play through that. Something I'm surprised to see. I'm not going to be doing that myself. Look, I said, hey, look, man, I'm fine with where I am playing an MMO. I don't need to go play it all over again. I'm good. Right now, I'm good. But it's still a novelty that I think this is included. This is the first time I've seen this done with an MMO. And yeah, we'll see how the reception goes for it. But other than that, it's looking real solid. And of course, the new dungeons, the new areas that got revealed, those look pretty sharp. More to come, much more to come. But after all that, that's all I got. Time for an info minute.
Yeah, do you want to take like a good long breath before you start the info minute? I mean, you did. You slammed through there. It was like...
I told you. Kitty Mew Mew. All right, next up.
And now Bunny Mew Mews, or is it Bunny Hop Hop?
I like Bunny Hop Hop better.
Yeah.
Keep that in your feather in your ear.
You keep all of it. I'm not going to touch it.
I know. I'll just keep it all to myself. Oh man. Hey, I was gonna ask, do you have a passport?
No, I've not left the country.
Do you think you'll ever want to get one?
Yes. Yeah, I will definitely want to be leaving the country. There are several locations I want to visit.
Cool, cool. Where's it once you get your passport nailed down? What's the first place you want to go? Like somewhere you've always been dying to go overseas. Just wondering.
Australia, mate.
Aussie. Land down under. Man, you can they can keep those spiders while I'm
That's
concerned.
yeah, no, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, there
I
is.
wanna I got some friends down there. I wanna fight a kangaroo. That's the thing.
Oh. Hey.
Yeah, but, no, I've got some friends there. Like to visit, check it out. Yeah.
Oh man.
Maybe
I
fight a kangaroo.
Fair enough, fair enough. I never been to Australia. You know, I almost had a chance to move there after I left the UK when I was about just hitting my teen years. My dad didn't take the assignment. He came back to the U.S. instead, so that never happened. But I try to keep my passport current. I actually haven't been out of the country since a few years after I got back. I went back over to visit the UK, but I haven't left since. So it's been a while. When I look at passports, I can't help but think, all the stuff you got to go through, and it's not too hard these days. You get your photo ID, your driver's license, and stuff like that. Hey, you can go get passport pictures done at Walgreens. I mean, look, it's not a big deal, but there are cases where it's a little more complex, a little weird. I ran across a little tidbit that from about a week ago that I was not aware of at all. Just a little fact back from this is something that happened in the 70s. And this had to do with the Egyptian government. I slid you a picture on our chat here, Chris, if you want to take a look at this. This actually, it turns out, in 1974, the Egyptian government issued a valid passport to Pharaoh Ramses in order to fly his 3,000-year-old mummied body over to Paris for a restoration.
Why?
It's just, when I look at things,
I get dead.
Yeah, very, very.
He was very dead.
And what's wild is I just can't help but smile about some of this. I mean, you look at this picture.
He can't help but smile either.
I know he can't.
He doesn't have any lips. And it does look like he's smiling.
No, I will definitely slide this in the description. But look, it's date 1303 BC, date of issue of the passport itself 9/3/1974. Mail and date of expiry 9/3/1981. So just in case he needs to get that renewed, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, this took me aback a bit because look, okay, especially in in Europe, dealing with customs is always big. If you're trying to especially you're trying to bring stuff into the country, it's why when a lot of people who live in the UK, when they're coming back, you see them layered up with a bunch of jackets and coats and, wearing like 3 shirts and stuff because they don't want to put that through customs because they get charged at the nose for it. But dealing with customs is always it's a lot of hubbub. It's always a busy moment. There's a lot of paperwork and everything that goes through it. So, if anything, this is not something I would expect to get caught up in red tape and passport paperwork. And it just struck me as very weird that they'd have to go this far to actually issue an individual passport just to get something expedited that's going to be a museum form anyway. I've never seen anything like this happen. So, heard of it.
It's one or two things. Either somebody was making a bad joke, which is what I think ultimately, or somebody didn't understand that even though you were respecting this person's place in history, this 3,000-year-old mummy is a thing, and it doesn't need a passport.
No,
because it's a thing. It stopped being a person a long, long time ago.
right.
It is now a piece of history. It's an artifact. Somebody was dumb.
Yeah,
but I can see that being one of two ways. Either they're like joking around, we're gonna make a passport for the mummy, or they took it way too serious.
Yeah.
And like, well, he's been dead for 3,000 years, but still, let's get him the proper verification here.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder, because it says on there that it expired in 1981. I wonder if they renewed.
I was about to say, did they pick that back up or not?
I mean, you could do a whole weekend at Bernie's thing with this.
Yes, you could.
You could like put them in a chair in the aircraft, put like hat and shirt on them, sit them there, have them reading a magazine.
See,
You do the whole thing.
now, Weekend at Bernie's. You know, I'm also seeing that on Elon Musk, his space ride. You know, we got that car that's just in orbit now.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, if this thing was like the traveling mummy, this thing would be huge in the United States. They love Halloween over here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can see this guy's like spooky houses.
Definitely.
You know, it's dress him up, put him in like a big teddy bear costume or something, except for the face. You could go on forever, but yeah, this is dumb.
Oh man, yeah.
Final verdict, stupid.
Stupid. It's like that. What was it? That channel for like movie sins counter? Yeah, unlimited.
Yeah.
Oh well, but that is gonna bring us to the end of the line for now, people. But hey, look, if you hung with us, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, just let you know, heads up, we're not. We're gonna be off a week. We're not gonna have a show coming up. Chris is gonna be out of town, so that traveling man. That is not going to stop all the Let's Play stuff we're doing. We're busy cranking stuff out. Of course, Chris here, wrapping up RE. Myself, I'm going to be having a bunch of stuff for the Kingdom Hearts 3 run coming to you guys very soon. Anthem is going to be right behind that and much more. So, hey, as always, look, like, subscribes, you got a comment to make. We'd love to hear from you. If you just want to fight about stuff, go for it. Chris will fight you. Please, by all means, post up below. We'd be awesome to hear from you guys. And hey, all that stuff goes such a long way and helps us keep doing what we love doing. In any case, so hey, until next time, you guys take it easy. If you're freezing your rear end off, stay warm. Take it easy. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, is there anything to go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it's great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Yeah, who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.